Learn bond valuation. So actually we are going to evaluate the bond. Okay, we will see the formulas and we will see how bonds are evaluated annually and semi-annually. So let's see the first problem. So for example, consider a 10-year 12% coupon bond with a par value of rupees 1000 and the required yield on this bond is 13%. So the bond time is 10 years and coupon rate on this is 12%. Okay, and the par value is rupees 1000 and the yield expected is on this bond is 13%. So they are talking about. So let's see that and if you see the cash flow for this bond are as follows: 10 annual coupon payments, that is rupees 120. So that is 12%, and rupees 1000 principal repayment 10 years from now. So let's calculate. So before going to calculation, obviously we should know about the formula. So for calculating bond value, the formula. So just let me change the ink color. Okay. So the formula for calculating the bond is, so present P is equal to N summation T is equal to 1. Okay. And C, that is coupon rate, divided by 1 plus R T plus, that is the time, and we will see what exactly, and M, that is the nothing but the maturity value or the principal value of the bond, 1 plus R raised to N. Okay, so let's see what exactly. So P is the value we are calculating, and N is number of years. Okay, C, annual coupon, or even we can say interest rate also, interest payment or interest rate. So R is periodic required return, periodic required return, and M is equal to maturity value, or we can say principal value also. We call it as principal value or principal repayment, and the T here is the time period. So this is the formula need to be used for calculation of the bond, and you can use this formula to calculate it, or else we will go to the shortcut formula also. So you can use both one, whichever you feel. So I am going to another formula, the same formula, just simplified one. So P is equal to, so C into present value interest factor annuity. Don't forget this annuity. R N, R comma N, so both are different, plus M into present value interest factor. So R comma N. So make sure you remember these two things. So for coupon rate, we have to take present value interest factor annuity, and for principal value, we have to take principal present value interest factor. So let's solve the problem. So we have the data with us. Okay, now we have to calculate P. Okay, and we know that annual coupon rate, that is C, is equal to rupees 120. Okay, so that is nothing but rupees 1000, the value of the bond, and the interest rate is 12%. So it will be 120. And N year, we know that it is 10-year bond. Okay, and the principal amount, that is M, is 1000. Is 1000. And the return, which is a periodic return required, or to maturity return required, that is R is equal to 13%, which is mentioned in the problem. So I'm going to put this all values in the formula, above formula which we are using. So P is equal to, so coupon rate we know 120. So into present value interest factor annuity. So here you can do the calculation, or else you can refer the this table also. So I will just show you the table value how to use. So if I see here interest present value interest factor, and another column, so present value interest factor annuity. So how to check it? So the percentage here is 13. So this is the 13 percentage. Okay, and it is for 10 years. So 13% for 10 years interest factor annuity. So it's here. Okay, so this is the value, that is 5.4262. So 10 year 13%, that is 5.4262. So let's take it. So that it is, just change the color. It is 5.4262 plus. Okay, next is M, that is the maturity value, or future maturity value we have to take. So that is rupees 1000 into. So here we have to go for present value interest factor. So let's see this again table. So we have to go another table, that is just present value interest factor. So here if we see, so 13%, okay, and for 10 year, okay, 13% for 10 year, and the value is 0.2946. Okay, the value is 0. Let me just change the color again. Okay, so the value we got from the table is 0.246. So we'll take it direct, 295. It was 2946. So I had just taken it 295. So after calculating, so values, so we get, so that is here we get 651.1 plus 295, so is equal to rupees 946.1. So the present value, the value of the bond is rupees 290. Sorry, the present value is 946.1. So I hope you understand how to see the table and put the values, or else you can use the above formula, this formula also for the calculation. Now let's move to another problem. So here we have Calculate the value of the bond from the following data. So the bond par value is rupees 1000, okay, and the coupon rate is 14%, and the bond will mature after 5 years. The required rate of return on the bond is 13%. So let's solve this. Okay, so we are going to use the simplest formula, that is P is equal to C into present value interest factor NET R, comma, N plus M into present value interest factor R N. So we have some given data. So P we need to calculate, and the C is, that is 14%. So 14% of 1000, that will be rupees 140. So rupees 1000 of 14%. Okay, and we have N, that is 5 years. Okay, and the principal amount, that is M, is equal to rupees 1000, and R, the return we are expecting, required rate of return, that is 13%. Okay, so let's put this in formula. Okay, so if you put in formula, so our C is rupees 140. So present value interest factor NET. Okay, so present value interest factor NET, and that is 13% R for 5 years. Okay, plus rupees 1000 into bracket present value interest factor. Okay, again that is 13% for 5 years. So is equal to rupees 140 into, so present value interest factor annuity 13% for 5 years. From the table, if we take the value, so it will be 3.517 plus and rupees 1000 into, so present value interest factor 13% for 5 years. So from the table we get it 0.543. Okay, so simplifying this, so we get the value. Here we get rupees 492.38, and plus, so here we get 1000, and that is 0.543. So we get rupees 543. So is equal to, so total 1035.4. So this is the P for the given problem. So here we have taken present value interest factor NIT 13% for 5 years from the table, and present value interest factor 13% for 5 years again from the table. So the value of the bond is rupees 1035.4. So now let's move to another type of formula. Okay, so here see, calculate the present value of bond from the following data. So a bond has par value of rupees 100 on which interest is payable semi-annually. So here in the last two problems we saw we were paying interest annually, and here we have to pay semi-annually, and we have to use the different formula here. And it bears a coupon rate of 12%, and the bond maturity period is after 8 years. The required rate of return on the bond is 14%. So let's solve the problem. Solution. Okay, so before going to solution, so we need to go for the formula. So here formula is present value. So here comes 2n because and semi-annually. So here there will be two part we have to pay the interest. So summation So T is equal to 1. So here C bar 2, C divided by 2, because interest is paid semi-annually, and here 1 plus R divided by 2 T. Okay, R divided by 2, the reason is again semi-annually we are going for, and M divided by 1 plus R divided by 2 bracket 2n. So if we can again use this formula, and the thing is we have to take down all the details, and we are paying similarly. So data we have with us is, so principal amount we have that is mentioned in the problem, that is 100 rupees. Okay, and C bar 2. So I am taking here C bar 2 because in the formula it is C bar 2 because it is semi-annually. Earlier we used to take just C for annually calculation. So C bar is equal to rupees 6. The reason 6 is, so rupees 100 is the, sorry, so rupees 100 is the value of the bond and of 12%. And if it is divided by 2, so we get, that is rupees 6. So interest we get 12 and divided it by 2, so we get 6 rupees, that is C bar 2. Now R bar 2, okay, so it is 7%. The reason actually is 14% and semi-annually, so that means 14% divided by 2. And next is 2n. So 2n will be 16 years. Okay, here it will be 16. The reason again, I will tell you. So it is actually for 8 years. Okay, 8 years. And it is semi-annually. So that's why we are multiplying with the 2. And now the T, and that is again 16 years. So why 16? Because semi-annually we are paying interest rate, and coupon also we are paying semi-annually. So let's put this in the formula. Okay. So putting this in the formula, so we get P is equal to 2n summation T is equal to 1. So 6 C bar 2 divided by 1 plus 0.07, that is the percentage, and 16 plus 100 divided by 1 plus 0.07 bracket 60. So again, I will use here the simplified formula, that rupees 6, okay, into present value interest factor NAT 7% for 60. Yes, 7% for 16 plus rupees 100 into present value interest factor, again 7% for 60 years. So taking the values from the table that I have shown you earlier, so 6 into, so from the table we get the value, that is 9.447 plus rupees 100 into 0.339, so is equal to rupees 90.6. So that is the present value of the bond. So I hope you understand. Take the problem, solve it stepwise. So I have given you soft copy of the table, and if you want, if you have a hard copy, you can use that to calculate the table, or you can put it in the formula. So you can go for the simplest method for the calculation. So thank you. I hope you have understood the problem.